I think I've had like 16 staples and probably about 20 stitches this year. So I haven't really been getting blood rules in the past, but something's happening. I don't know why I keep getting hit in the face, but I think it looks pretty cool. But chicks dig scars as well. But unfortunately, I've got a fiance, so it doesn't really matter.
You must be happy to be heading down to Tassie for the weekend.
Yeah, it was great. As soon as I heard that, I was pretty rapt. Obviously, the family will probably drive up and come watch me, so that's always good to get back to God's country. So I'm excited to go back down there. We play Hawthorn. We've got a pretty good record against them down there, and we don't look at changing that anytime soon. But I think from then on we fly straight to Perth. So we'll just take this week as it comes. Hawthorn are going to be hard to beat down there, and then we're going to take our best team and try and get the 4 points.
You mentioned that good record against Hawthorn and Tassie. I mean, some of your best wins in recent years have been down there against them, particularly when they were really, really good. What is it about playing Hawthorn and Tasmania that's you guys have enjoyed so much?
We just use it as a challenge. Like we love getting away as a group and taking those challenges head on. And the early days, that was our trademark performances. So we really built our culture and stuff around those type of games. And we've travelled down there in our pre-season camps, and we've spent a lot of time, and we've trained on that oval. And Blunston Arena as well. We've trained on those ovals down there, so we kind of familiarised with it, where other teams probably haven't done that in the past. So that's worked in our advantage, and hopefully we can go down there and do the same thing again.
Is there any reason for the Jekyll and Hyde at the weekend, first and second halves?
We've obviously gone through the tape yesterday, and we had a good look at it. The stats show that it shouldn't have been what the score was. So we controlled most of the ball. As I said, our disposal efficiency and our decisions going inside 50, which they would mock it and then slingshot down the other end. So once we cleaned that up and we started playing the brand that we know how to play, like quick up the ground, or we can take a bit of sting out of the game and call tempo, we can do those things. So, the second half we just started doing what the coach wanted us to do, and he gave us a good little bake at half time, which revved everyone up and came out of the chockies, so that was a positive.
What's that do for your confidence? I mean, a second half like that, regardless of the opposition.
Yeah, we've spoken about it. We usually win the games, obviously, when we start well and get in front, and we take the win in the sails. So that was a really good confidence boost for us that we can be behind by a fair margin and come back and win the game convincingly. So we'll use that going forward, and it would be a good memory to keep in the bank. And hopefully we don't give teams those head starts going in the future, and we can start well. So we looked at that, and we'll put a few things in place going forward.
How much of it? Reviewing a game like that, do you look at what you did wrong in the first half more than what you did right in the second half, or vice versa, or a little of both? How do you analyse a game like that?
Yeah, it's a tale of two halves. So we looked through the first half of what we did wrong, and then we were all over it at half time. We just had to speak about what we're doing right and what we can do right going forward, because their pressure was really good, and we were just turning the ball over in silly spots on the ground that we know we shouldn't be kicking the ball. So it was more of the personnel and the delivery we were doing than more so the actions and stuff. So we looked at it, and our second half was great, but it's those learnings we can take from the first half going forward.
Was it a bit of a wake-up call now to run to the end of the season?
Not necessarily. Like, we played Richmond and St Kilda were in good form when we played them. Richmond had a lot to play for. Jack Reed was 300 throughout the game, and they were coming up here, and they really wanted to beat us because of the previous encounter we had with them. So we just didn't react very well to those games, and we dissected them, and we don't take those losses as a loss. We like to learn from those games. So I think we did that, and we implemented that in the second half against Gold Coast. So it's exciting going forward.
How difficult are these games, like against Hawthorn, a team probably almost like the Saints and Tigers, where you're supposed to win and you're supposed to win well? How do you get up for those games? How difficult are those games to play?
Yeah, that's a hard question, because I reckon, personally, my opinion is that the competition's the most even it's been in a long time. Obviously, from the 8 onwards down, like there's about 5 teams that are still playing for finals, which is pretty rare this time of year. So you can't take any team lightly. We've shown that if we're 10% off or 20% off, the teams can roll us. So we've got to come with the hunter mentality from the start, and we're still trying to implement that in our culture and our younger players coming through, and especially our leaders. We're trying to stand up and lead the way with those things. So it's not, if you're playing a team that's low on the ladder, it doesn't really matter, because we were in that situation a few years ago, and we used that as our motivation to ruin someone's finals campaign, or to disrupt their season going forward. So everyone has their own little triggers along the way, and I'm sure Hawthorn will be wanting to do something like that, and especially for their fans, they want to get a win for their fans, and what better way to do it in Tassie, where they play a lot of their footy.
Going down to Tassie and then off to Perth, as you mentioned, you're packing some extra socks and jocks just in case, because you just don't know, do you?
Yeah, well, this is the best part is that we do know this next couple of weeks is what's going to be happening. So we got Tassie, then Perth, and then we're back here for the last 2 games. So the uncertainty going like in the past, where we don't pack for 3 to 4 weeks, where you only pack for 2 days. That's a stressful time, but we know we've got 2 big games on the road, and we want to get both those wins and come back here. But as I mentioned, we can't look past Hawthorn. But we're ready for this. We understand that we've been in these situations where you've got to play in numerous amount of positions, like around the country, away from your family. So we're getting used to it along the way.
Mitch, 4 weeks out now, do you feel like there's a sniff of finals and it's time to, almost like ramp it up a notch the next few weeks?
I definitely think the last 2 weeks when we're back here at the Gabba, that's when we'll start feeling like, we've got finals around the corner. But as I said, we just got to try and win every game from now on. We don't love talking about the top 4 spot. But, personally, players understand where that's at. So we just want to win this week and then take it on the next week and keep going. So we know that we've got a big hand of task. We've got four games to go and it's finals time. But we don't obviously look too far in the future. And we never used to like using the F word, the finals word, until we get there. So we're very excited. The young group coming through, and we've got 4 weeks to go, but we just got Hawthorn this week.
Mate, just want to ask you one on Oscar McInerney. What difference, how vital is he to your success over the rest of the season? We saw how much influence he can have when he's playing his best footy.
The big O, he's third quarter, pretty much got us back in the game, got us in front. He's very vital to our team, but in saying that, we've got other blokes who can play that ruck role and give him a rest. But Big O, how far he's come, and if you know him personally, you fall in love with him. He's the most apologetic guy I've ever met in your life when he's doing the right thing. So he lowered his colours the week before. He put his hand up for that, and he really wanted to come out and set the tone, and he did that from the start to finish. So we love Big O, and he's so important to our team.